Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Russell Wilson Steelers' future uncertain as team engages with other QB, report. The Pittsburgh Steelers organization conveyed the idea early this offseason that it preferred to re-sign either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields for 2025. Steelers owner Art Rooney stated his preference was either Fields or Wilson on January 27. With Fields off to the New York Jets, Wilson now seems to be obvious choice at quarterback for Pittsburgh. But the Steelers appear to have their eyes set on four-time MVP signal caller Aaron Rodgers. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported on March 10 that Rodgers' signing with the Steelers was in play. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac implied on March 11 that Rodgers is their preferred choice. Dulac added, though, that Wilson could still return although as a fallback option. It's possible Russell Wilson could return to the Steelers if ongoing discussions with Aaron Rodgers fail to result in a financial agreement, per multiple sources, wrote Dulac on X, formerly Twitter. How much could Aaron Rodgers demand from Steelers? Fields left Pittsburgh to agree to a 2-year, $40 million contract with the Jets on March 10. Fields' deal will include $30 million guaranteed. The Steelers made an offer to Fields, but CBS Sports' Aditi Kinkhabwala reported it didn't include guaranteed money past the first season. Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer wrote on March 9 the Steelers have interest in Sam Darnold. But Darnold agreed to terms with the Seattle Seahawks just prior to Fields leaving for the Jets. With those two signal callers off the market, the Steelers have turned their attention to Rodgers and Wilson. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio reported late on March 10 that Rodgers and the Steelers could have an agreement in place on March 11. But that hasn't happened yet, perhaps because of a disagreement on the financial terms of the potential deal. With an educated guess, Florio predicted Rodgers is looking for a $90 million deal. He also added that Rodgers wants to play another 2 seasons. A $45 million average annual salary wouldn't rank Rodgers in the top 10 among NFL quarterbacks. But it's unclear if the Steelers feel comfortable making that offer to a 41-year-old. That's likely why it's key for Pittsburgh to have Wilson as another option. Did Russell Wilson hurt his chances of returning to Steelers? Wilson doesn't necessarily have to wait for the Steelers to make a decision. Wilson potentially has other suitors, including the Tennessee Titans according to SNY's Connor Hughes. If the Steelers are his first choice, though, Wilson might only have himself to blame if he doesn't return to Pittsburgh. Steelers Depot's Alex Kozora argued on X that Wilson may have damaged his relationship with the team over the offseason. My guess is the team soured on Wilson because of relationship issues with Arthur Smith, Kozora wrote. That report about Wilson being handcuffed by him probably didn't go over well. Dulac reported on February 4 that offensive coordinator Arthur Smith did not want Wilson changing plays at the line of scrimmage. Dulac indicated that Wilson did that in the first matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals when he threw for 414 yards in the rematch versus the Bengals about a month later. The Steelers ran the ball more often, particularly on first down. Wilson was 17 of 31 with 148 passing yards. On February 5, Kinkhabwala strongly refuted Dulac's report, calling it completely inaccurate and clearly coming from one side. Whether or not it was true might not have mattered to the Steelers. The fact the media reported the story from Wilson's camp, if that's where it came from, may have been enough to upset the organization. Another quarterback option comes off the board for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The second-tier options for the Pittsburgh Steelers are now starting to come off the board. Patriots quarterback Jacoby Brissett is heading to the Arizona Cardinals to become the Cardinals' backup to Kyler Murray. Brissett could have been a low-tier starter with experience from his past stops with the Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis Colts, and Patriots. He struggled with the Patriots, however, leading to Drake May being inserted earlier than they had intended in the season. Brissett has 53 career starts but got a modest $6.25 million over 2 seasons to join the Cardinals. Pittsburgh not only needs a starter, but could use a backup quarterback, and Brissett certainly could have been among those options. However, the Steelers have contacted former Steeler Mason Rudolph for that gig, and it appears he could come in to be the team's backup. Brissett, on the other hand, will likely cost more than Rudolph. Rudolph left the Steelers for the Tennessee Titans and went 1-4 in 5 starts with the team while throwing 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Betting. Check out our guide to the best PA sportsbooks, where our team of sports betting experts has reviewed the experience, payout speed, parlay options, and quality of odds for multiple sportsbooks. Steelers reportedly have backup planned if they fail to sign Aaron Rodgers after losing Justin Fields to the New York Jets on Monday. The Pittsburgh Steelers are left scrambling trying to fill their quarterback void. The Steelers reportedly made Fields an offer, but he wasn't willing to commit to them unless they guaranteed he would be their starter. With Skylar Thompson the only QB Pittsburgh has under contract, the team turned its attention to former Jets passer Aaron Rodgers. The only problem is Pittsburgh isn't the only team interested in Rodgers, who seems to be content taking his time in reaching a decision. My understanding is this could be a little while, ESPN's Adam Schefter said on SportsCenter on Tuesday. Now I don't know if a little while is a day or a week, but my understanding is this could be a little while before he makes a decision about what he wants. But if Rodgers takes too long to make a decision, or decides he wants to stay in New York and play for the Giants, the Steelers could be forced to pivot again. According to Jerry Dulock of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, the Steelers reportedly have a backup plan if Rodgers doesn't work out, and it includes a familiar face. It's possible Russell Wilson could return to the Steelers if ongoing discussions with Aaron Rodgers fail to result in a financial agreement, per multiple sources. Dulock tweeted. Wilson's numbers this season weren't terrible: 2,482 yards, 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but he went 6-6 as the starter, including a 28-14 loss to the Baltimore Ravens in the wild-card round of the playoffs that had fans calling for the team to move on from Wilson. If Rodgers picks the Steelers, Wilson will likely head to the Giants, though there is a report circulating that the Tennessee Titans could also be interested in him. Aside from Pittsburgh and New York, the only other team that's shown interest in Rodgers is the Minnesota Vikings. Are you a fan? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.